Hello guys, my name is Jayant Sharma and welcome to the Fundamentals of Photography Lessons. Well, this is a series of hand-picked topics that I think will build a strong foundation and teach you the basics and fundamentals which is absolutely necessary when it comes to excellence in photography. So are you all set? Great, so then let's dive in. In this video, let's look at what's a DSLR, why it is called so, and what the advantages are. Even since the film days, SLRs have been a very popular type of camera, and now with digital sensors, they're even more powerful. This is because DSLRs pack a fairly large sensor in a portable, fast, robust, and ergonomic form. Let's take a look at the importance of these features and how you can make the most of them. As you may have noticed, DSLRs have quite a few buttons on the body itself, which gives quick access to various functions and features. This is critical while photographing something you can't control because you may miss a shot in the time taken to change a setting in the menus. So the first thing you should do is become familiar with every button on your camera so you know just what to do when you need to change something. More on this shortly. DSLRs also tend to have very quick responses and fast focusing, both of which are very important, especially when you want to capture action, but it's essential that you are intimate with all the focusing settings and options. There is a video on this later. And then there's lens interchangeability. This is invaluable because one lens cannot do everything. So there are different lenses for different purposes. You learn all about this in the videos on types of lenses. But let's start by understanding what SLR means and how it works. SLR stands for single lens reflex. It's called so because it uses a single lens to show you the view in the viewfinder as well as capture the image. Well, here it's how it works. A DSLR has three main parts: the mirror, the viewfinder, and then the sensor. The mirror reflects light through the lens into a prism here, which then directs the light into the viewfinder. That's how you can see the scene and compose the picture. When you press the shutter release button to take a picture, the mirror just flips up to allow light to the sensor, thus capturing the image. It's that clever and simple. In non-SLR cameras, like a mirrorless camera, there is no optical viewfinder since there is no mirror. Instead, you see the view in an electronic viewfinder, using the light passing directly to the sensor. Now, what are the typical controls on a DSLR body? This varies from body to body, but let's take a look at some typical features. On the top, you have the exposure program dial next to the built-in flash, which pops up by itself if you're shooting in the auto mode. To bring it up manually, you'll press this button on the left or on the right, depending on which camera you have. You may have the exposure compensation, ISO, white balance, and focus and drive option buttons. Some cameras also have a dial here, which is used to change aperture, shutter speed, exposure compensation, autofocus points, etc. At the back, you may have another dial or keypad apart from the buttons to zoom into or zoom out of your pictures while reviewing them on the LCD and a few other shortcuts. On the lens, you have the manual focus autofocus toggle, image stabilization switch, and in some lenses, a couple of other switches we'll discuss later. Zooming in and out is always manual in a DSLR. That is, you need to twist the zoom ring, unlike a point and shoot camera where even lens zooming can be achieved electronically. Alright, here's an exercise. The first step towards becoming proficient in using your DSLR is to be able to mount and unmount your lens easily. So I'd like you to practice this until you're able to do it without thinking. To mount the lens, hold your camera and the lens this way and align the dot on your lens with the dot on your camera mount, and then turn it anti-clockwise if it is a Nikon or a Sony and clockwise if it is a Canon camera. To unmount, be sure to fully press this button on the side of the mount and then turn it in the opposite way of how you mounted it. That is, turn it clockwise if it is a Nikon or a Sony and anti-clockwise if it is a Canon camera. Well, I prescribe doing this a few times a day for a fortnight or until any discomfort in mounting or unmounting a lens disappears. Great, so let's summarize. DSLR is a short for digital single lens reflex. It's called so because a single lens is used for a scene composition and image capture. DSLRs are responsive, quick to focus, and provide access to a lot of controls on the body. DSLRs allow you to mount a wide range of purpose-specific lenses. Well, I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. Up next is the RAW mode, so I'll see you there.